Welcome back, YouTubers. This is Omar from Near Mint Condition Gaiden. Today, I hold in my hands Berserk 38. It is finally here after 3.5 years of waiting. By the way, this review will contain some spoilers, and as a heads up, there will also be use of strong language. But if you're not a fan of that, why the fuck are you reading Berserk to begin with? So my journey with Guts and Company began all the way back in 1998 when I first saw the original anime on bootleg of a bootleg. I fell in love with it and I wanted more, and I only had to wait until 2003 before the first volume of Berserk came out. Now Berserk has a very special place in my heart because it is the very first manga that I reviewed for a magazine, Berserk Volume 1. I remember that. It was in the fall of 2003. Now, I swore an oath that I would not do any more reviews because I did it for over 13 years and I wanted to take a break, but this is fucking Berserk. And it's finally here. Sure, I could have downloaded the chapters and read them through scans, but fuck that noise. I want to hold the damn book in my hands like I have since Volume 1. So, on to the review. First of all, really quick recap. After defeating the giant Leviathan monster, donning the huge Berserker armor, Guts and friends are finally on their way to the fairy island. Finally, to cure Casca. And then we see Rickard enter the city of Falconia, and that is where Griffith is residing. Which is where this volume opens up. We see Rickard and Erica running into Luca, who we last saw in the Conviction arc. And they also run into this old guy who seems to be a little more than he lives on. And then we finally get the confrontation between Rickard and Griffith. Now, that confrontation could have gone two ways. One, Griffith could have made Rickard drink the new Band of the Hawk Kool-Aid. Or two, Rickard could have been like, man, fuck that noise. I ain't listening to you. You killed all my friends, and you appeared before me and Guts, and you're some kind of demon. Well, it does go that way. So Rickard said, fuck this, and smacks the crap out of Griffith, which I was so happy to see. We finally see these two characters get together after so many years. Luca isn't the only character we see return. We also see the Kushan assassin Salat. Now Salat makes a deal with Rickard that as long as Rickard tells him what he needs to know about the Band of the Hawk and Griffith, he will take him safely to Kushan. And of course, that's not as easy when a demon assassin comes and gets Rickard. But that's okay, because that old man I was telling you about earlier turned out to be a powerful sorcerer from Kushan named Daiba. So he helps him along the way, and together he rides off with Erica, the Kusha assassins, and Rickard on the way to the Kusha. We are fucking finally off the boat. Guts and gang are on the fairy island, where apparently time travels a little different and slower. Of course, nothing is ever easy for this group of characters because they run into some killer scarecrows. And that's kind of where the volume ends. I love this volume. This is exactly what I wanted out of a Berserk volume. It's been 3.5 years and we needed more character interaction. We needed more story development. Let's take a break from all the battles that's been going on for the last 4 or 5 volumes and concentrate on these characters, and let's move the story forward, which is exactly what Miura does. This volume also reminds me of a little bit of the 5th book in the Song of Ice and Fire, where all these characters are coming together that we didn't think would ever meet cross paths. And it seems like alliances are being made, and we finally get to see maybe how Guts is going to be able to take down this fucking giant horde of demons that Griffith has named the new Band of the Hawk. Once again, everything is perfect with the artwork. It looks painstakingly detailed. Seriously, Falconia looks like a fucking massive, beautiful metropolis that could have existed ages ago. Miura really knows how to make his art make the places look so damn real. But it's not just the architecture. I mean, it's everything. It's the landscapes, the scenery, the castles, the armor, the boats, the corpses, and most of all, the monsters, of course. There's lots of really brilliant images that succeed amazingly, and just like a nasty brutality and grotesque that I really don't see anywhere else in any kind of medium. Like seriously, the previous battle was some of the most impressive and amazing visual narrative in this medium I've ever seen. Guts is probably my favorite character of any medium. To stare down a horde of demons and to do it alone, you got to be the baddest motherfucker ever. Yes, now he has an actual group of friends, but before he was doing this shit by himself, I mean, during the eclipse, I can't imagine even my most favorite character of all time, Wolverine, just slashing down these fucking demons that are coming out of everywhere. And that is one of my favorite things about the series, is that some of the protagonists have done some really horrible things and aren't the nicest of people, but they are the ones you cheer for, because the alternative is just so fucked up. Now, I can't just sing all praises. It can't all be sunshines and rainbows. Otherwise, you would just have another guy on YouTube telling you why you must read Berserk. But you really must read Berserk because it is fucking brilliant. I mean, seriously. My obsession with this series started back in 1998, and it has just grown. One of the things that irks me a little bit about Berserk is the forced comedy, I guess it would be called. Mainly with characters like Isidro and Puck. I feel like their comedy just falls flat, and honestly, you really don't need the comedic breaks in the book. I wish Miura would cut out all the really bad comic relief that keeps us from just moving in the main exciting plot line. I guess one could argue, well, hell yeah, you need it, otherwise it would just be too dark of a story. But fuck that, I love that aspect of the book. How dark it is, how dirty it makes me feel, in a good way. But I guess the biggest gripe with this series is the padding that happens in the stories. We have 38 volumes so far. The series started in 1989. The length of the battles and really the length of the story arcs just feel like the books keeps running longer and longer and longer. Add that to the breaks that Miura takes to do other projects from time to time. Feels like we were never going to get to Fairy Island, but we're finally here, so we're finally moving forward. I mean, this is supposed to be the final arc of Berserk. However many volumes that's going to take, we don't know yet. But anyway, those are just minor gripes compared to all the goodness you get from this. After a long wait, Volume 38 did not disappoint, with some phenomenal writing and more character development. Berserk is not only my favorite manga of all time, but it's probably my favorite story of all time. No matter what I'm doing, I put it down to read Berserk. Just like today, I literally got this volume, I put down work aside, I put down my kids, told my wife I ain't coming home for dinner, and I read Berserk. Don't let the number of volumes scare you from diving into one of the finest stories ever penned by man. Seriously. If you want to check out what all the hype is about, I highly recommend the Berserk movies. I would recommend the TV show, but the Berserk movies do a really good job of recapping the first 13 volumes and leaving out Volume 1, which to me feels so out of place now. So if you like the movies, go and check out what the hype is about. Keep reading the series about these characters. Find out what happens to Casca and Guts after the eclipse. Well, obviously because of this and everybody else. Spoilers are everywhere. The beauty of going into this series right now is that you have 38 fucking volumes to catch up on. Seriously, 38. I guarantee you will fly through these volumes in a matter of a week. And then you can be as miserable like the rest of us, waiting on the next volume of Berserk. So hopefully we don't have to wait for volume 39 much longer. It came out in Japan sometime in January, so here's hoping that 39 comes out by the end of the year. Once again, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review. Like I said, I don't do them often. If you like the video and this is your first time watching this, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We have a weekly show that we do where we discuss anime, manga, movies, video games, and comic books and toys every week on Thursdays. And thank you very much.